fights. And why should they? I think if one team wanted to, it would have to be Mineski, with TG having that pump and that fear. But it looks like they want to just, you know, kind of cover their bases, not want to play it too risky. Infinity, on the other hand, because they want to scale to the mid to late game, risking their level 1 is just not a prerogative. It's just not a prerogative.
So Annie did a smart choice there of hugging that wall and that banana brush, not being spotted out by the Explorer ward that was placed down by Mineski there. We might see Infinity go for an invasion. They do get into the tri-brush. They are not noticed, but pings have gone down from Mineski, so they do suspect that something is up.
They do. And Exo here caught up in the banana brush, dodging that Mystic Shot quite well. They get that Sonic Wave very nicely now, pointing out the opponents and where they are. Mineski should know that the pause is coming. No, they should know that the ward has been planted into that red zone. So Lee Sin movements will be tracked just a bit better.
They might actually consider putting down a pink ward. We do see that Fiddlesticks does have a pink ward in his inventory. Annie, on the other hand, did not decide to pick up a pink ward.
Right. I don't know whether they want to waste that pink ward, especially if they want that lane superiority with Caitlyn, Fiddlesticks against the risk. Oh, but they do it anyway. My worry now is that without that pink ward in the lane, Annie can kind of be that really scary stun bully because she has a really good range with the disintegrate stun.
He still has one more pink ward, so hopefully we can see TG use that to good effect at this bottom lane.
Right, you know what, that was silly of me because I was looking at Xerath here. And I saw, oh, no more pink.
No more pink.
My bad. And here we go, Lee starting off Noel, getting that early red buff, and Exo holding on to that headshot. Very nicely done. He can go to the lane, get a free crit off. NASA starting as blue, helping Insta start their blue, and looks like they want to go for that 2v1. Now NASA said 2v1 isn't that bad, and I love this play that he's doing. A lot of these 2v1 swaps start off with the solo laner taking the wolves of double golems.
So this is where the current meta comes into play. It's now where you decide, are we going to push in the tower early and deny this lane experience if he's gone to farm the jungle? Or are we just going to build up the wave and then try and push in and deny as many last hits as we can? It does look like Mineski here are not going to try and push in early. Instead, they're just holding up the wave, trying to allow the creep to allow the minions to snowball in size and then push in the tower. So Nasus here will still get that experience.
Right, and Yume here getting bullied in the mid lane, and we saw Firefox just dishing out a truckload of damage at level 1. And I'm going to just put a side comment here by saying I love the new gold animation. I mean, that text is good.
It just feels really good when you get a last hit.
Yeah, you feel richer, even though it's the same amount of gold.
You feel richer.
Yes, you feel nice. Mid lane Firefox getting that level 3 earlier. Oh no, just at the same time, and he will actually be able to bully out Fizz for that little bit because Fizz has dropped quite a few of his targets. Dropped the pot as it is. Insta here going hard, fighting up against Noel. Somehow Noel coming out a bit slow, and first blood goes over to Firefox. Yume now caught in a bad position. The playful trickster is down. Insta and then one small dot of health. Firefox throwing out those hits. Insta locking up, throwing in the ball breaker, and getting a very nice kill, but trading in the process with Firefox.
That was very nice coordination coming in from Fire and Rise there. Comboing out the snare and also Vi coming in with that vault break at the right time was almost enough to save Firefox and take down Yume as well. Mineski, they were abusing the fact that Noel had that really good early game, but because Yume was pushed back into his tower early on, there was not much that Yume could do to help out since Firefox had the positioning advantage to help out his jungler.
Right, so now Insta with that actually gets a bit of an advantage in the jungle. And one thing I like about Vi is that she snowballs really well. Once you give her that advantage, Lee Sin, yeah, he does need that early snowball to get that advantage, but Vi, when Vi gets it, man, you are actually looking at a bit of trouble in the mid game with some viable items.
Magic's Razor being picked up here by Lee Sin early on, something you don't usually see in the jungle anymore. It's going to help out with his clear time quite a lot, but it just does not give too many other beneficial stats.
Right, I mean the armor is nice, so the healing potential is slightly there, but then again, as you said, I don't think like Vi's not going to worry that much about it. Insta comes from the side, they catch out Exo, Exhaust being dropped down. That's not a mana onto NASA, so that's kind of wasted. They do waste the exhaust though, and that helps out just a bit more. Of course, the flash from Exo burned as well. Insta taking some extra damage. And ooh, that total Peacemaker just hitting at the tip.
Nice laning there coming in from Mineski. They just knew the exact time they could turn around on that. That very nicely as well.
Yeah, so CS-wise, it looks pretty even for most of the lanes. Like Nasus is just a few behind, but their weight is still there for him to take. Fear dropped down so he wouldn't get that last hit. Very sneaky play. Oh, Insta going really low, and Exo there just pick up a. That was a bit of a silly death here coming in from Insta, as he went in a bit too deep, took too many pokes, and not worth.
For a player of just this level, it's just not acceptable for Insta to give off that easy of a kill. I mean, he just pretty much got poked to death there.
Yeah, no, not just a kill. He now has that double buff, and Caleb double buff means you're gonna be constantly pushing that wave in with those double Peacemakers.
Especially with a Fiddlesticks lane, you're gonna have so much poke going down onto this 2v1 lane. I think that really might have costed Infinity a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna set them back far behind, because one thing they did now is that they gave Nasus a really difficult laning phase. No stats of siphoning strike is a big problem. Noel here getting stunned in by Xerath, but he will escape in safeguard. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Sure, so you can see Yume here go really aggressive onto Firefox, not gonna get that damage from that playful Trickster, and takes a ton in return. Insta coming up to the top lane, there's a stun.
Double stun coming in, they lock down Noel. Exhaust drops as well, but he burns that flash, and with that they managed to escape. Firefox is still dishing a lot of damage onto Yume. That's gonna keep him at bay for a while, but who knows for how long, because once that level 6 pops in for Fizz, and he wants to commit to that fight, that's it.
That was a 6.5 minute tower taken by the bottom lane of Mineski. Gonna see Infinity return the favor with the tower up at top lane, but Mineski were able to do it.
That flash coming in from Xerath was super wasted, and that's just bad coordination and bad timing on their part. So, but you were mentioning, yes, the 1-for-1 trade for turrets, no real advantage given, and you can see the goal score kind of signals the same way. Infinity just with a 200 goal lead.
It's going to be interesting to see what both of these teams do now that the turrets have been taken down in those 2v1 lanes. Snoy here still looks to be farming up at this top lane, trying to get as many last hits as he can. With that tower down, there's not as much pressure as Xerath and Zu here can put down, just because he has free roam.
Okay, so we need to adjust our mics.
We will be right back.
Hello? Okay, sorry about that. And with that, Mineski kind of takes out Price to attempt an early dragon. Sneakily with that pink ward. And Infinity has no idea what's going on. That's not a good sign. So, easy dragon for them. Uncontested. I think both teams kind of played it a bit strangely. Because, yes, Mineski made a good play, but that was a bit of a risk factor involved.
I liked the play coming out from Mineski there, just because they knew that they started off with the 2v1 bottom lane and had the superior bottom lane. With Exo also grabbing up that early kill, he was able to grab a BF sword on his first back to base.
Right.
And they knew,
they get that fear off with the cross off. Comboing with Chump the Waters, that's an easy kill for Yume and TG.
Yume with the superior roam there coming out from his support. Nobody would see any supports be doing this early on in the game. Not the Fiddlesticks so much, but great roam coming in from Mineski, picking up that kill at the mid lane. Yume now might have the advantage here. Snoy gonna battle out with his brother at this top lane. Nasus really does not have any early game right now. He's not gonna be able to snowball as well as he should be able.
Right, Snoy is gonna have that big lane dominance with Kalani, plus good sustain coming on his part. Now, what I was scared about, the fear comes in onto Su. Is he gonna walk into that trap? No, it looks like our RNG gods are in his favor. The exhaust drops down to Xerath. Therefore, up Exo, doing all that poke, that war in the brush. Super helpful. TG picks up the kill with the auto attack. Now Su in a bit of trouble. He gets hit down. The fear drops just before his death. And looks like I think Exo. Oh no! Exo gets that kill even after the rare pop down.
Xerath made another crucial mistake there. He missed his W to get the stun off, and he hit level 6 at the same time. He wasn't even able to level up Timbers. Was not able to do much there, but Xerath missing that stun was pretty much what told Mineski we can keep going for this kill.
Yeah, no, let's go in. And that's how they created a big bot lane pressure. Okay, yes. Sorry, mic check. So anyway, I was going to just say something small about the dragon thing earlier on. I mean, although the early initiation was good, the fact that they didn't ward up prior before that in that blue side kind of showed that, hey, anything could have happened and was a big risk factor involved. Not the smartest way to play the wards and the early game dragon. Looks like Noel goes in, but the counter gang from Insta, they drop in the entire wham bam combo. Zara still coming from the side. They get a 3-man lockdown onto Yubei. The exhaust drops down. He will play for Trickster out there. Wow, a burn off the summoner spells and all that, but nonetheless, Infinity do pick up 1 kill.
Sure do. Firefox there, I don't think his flash was necessary.
No,
after Mineski were able to escape there. Rankin Tibbers just gets speared there. Don't know how he would be very afraid of a Scarecrow though.
No, when they both look extremely scary, so that's one of the problems as it is. Su here needs to get that farm back in the bot lane. Unlike Caitlyn, who looks like she's going to build either the Bloodthirst or the Infinity Edge, the slower it takes for Ezreal to pick up that Trinity Force, the better it is for Exo to win that lane out with an IE.
Sure is, and Exo really has to abuse the fact that it's still early in the game and he can still poke out Ezreal from the lane, so to speak. Once Ezreal picks up that Trinity Force, that's the time where he is able to all-in Caitlyn very, very effectively. If he is able to hit 2 or 3 Mystic shots, he can pretty much all-in Exo and get a ton of damage now, while Exo still has to rely on good positioning to poke Ezreal out of this lane.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more on that. Now TG coming for the second time in a row. Firefox has hit easily that, and TG will get the bounce off of the kill.
TG needs to surprise party Fiddlesticks again.
Why? Yeah, why he no use surprise party?
It's needed. He's having so many parties at this mid lane. He's just not inviting any of his friends.
It's very rude, I guess.
Very rude.
Very rude. Good place.
He invited Fizz, but not Fish. I'm not happy.
No, not Fish. What, you went there?
No.
Oh no, sad.
Very sad.
Exo getting the superior farm out though, with 2 kills under his belt and 1 assist. That is definitely a goal lead against Ezreal here, who's not even picked up the 3rd part, the Zeal. So with that being said, I mean Caitlyn should be able to get those bigger items, sitting at that 1.1k back home.
Siphoning Strike coming out from Nasus there. Just gonna hit Snowy as he heads back to base. Insta here looked like he wanted to go in onto Exo, but decided not to, and just loops around.
Man, and Su just getting that free harass, getting freely harassed by Exo in that lane was just really strange play. I mean, the movement was quite sloppy if you ask me.
Sure was. We do see Insta still hovering around down at this bottom lane, trying to protect this bot lane duo of Ezreal and Annie, but he just doesn't know that Lee Sin and Fiddlesticks are both quite close by. He will see now that Noel just walked past a ward that both Fiddlesticks and Lee Sin are nearby, but could have been a bit risky there because I do think that Mineski
Dara's coming in, gets the stun off with the Tibbers. Coming in the 2-shot barrage, not getting hit anything but getting that speed boost in the process. Exo will be able to try to counteract with the attack. No! Assault and Battery comes in, and the pickup comes in for Xerath.
I like the play coming in there for Exo. He knew that he had the potential to outplay this bot lane duo after the true shot barrage missed next to the flash, but another play at mid lane.
Yep, and this looks like an easy kill for the guys. Noel picks up with the resonating strike. I'm worried for the top lane though, because Nasus is not having a fun time with those siphoning strike stacks.
Mineski just put so much pressure down at this mid lane. We see Fiddlesticks is constantly mid lane.
Oh, and Su here going real low. He found that bear. Will it be enough? Noel coming in from the side, and Su forced to bend that flash. Insta as well dodges with the Vault Breaker, and from the side, will Yume come in to try to get that kill? No, he sees Xerath lurking with the stun and says, I will have none of that. No roasted fish.
And I was gonna say earlier how Exo was trying to outplay that the 2-on-1 lane there. He did have a superior item advantage, and he was able to dodge quite a few abilities coming in from both Annie and Ezreal there, and had the superior health advantage and what might have been able to outplay Su there, but unfortunately for him, Vi was able to Vault Breaker over the wall and get the ultimate down onto Caitlyn, eventually picking up the kill onto Exo.
Yeah, that's the thing. But now, looking at it, Dragon has just respawned, and of course, Infinity here at a significant item advantage, hitting the 15-minute mark. Here goes Snoy going hard, and then I think just getting that extra harass onto Porsche. You can see Porsche only at 96 stacks of that siphoning strike. For this part of the game, it's actually not the best position to be in.
Sure, and he's also scaling up his siphoning strike. I don't think that's something you should do when you're far behind. I think
it's better get that Spirit Fire on.
I think so too. Even Wither, I feel, would be a better ability to be ranking up as Nasus right now.
Right, you could actually go for that roam instead of just staying in the lane. If you know that you're not scaling up as well, you can leech onto those to the other lane's farm. But Porsche Cup here, because he wants to stay, he's going to try, in my opinion, I think he's going to try to be the super irritating, stay on the top lane, get that Iceborne Gauntlet and just push. But it doesn't seem to be working out for him at the moment.
You might see a gang coming in from Vi here. We see both the ultimates popped by the brothers here. Here comes Izzy, he's going to go on to Snoy.
And Vi uses that assault on battery. Porsche Cup going very low. Snoy still has that help in his pocket. Insta staying there. Noel missing out by getting Dragon's Rage in the face.
And also Yume here going to pick up the kill onto Nasus. That was a gank gone wrong for Infinity.
And now Mineski will be able to actually push out that top lane, create pressure, and possibly move into tower number 2 as they spot Ezreal and Annie in the bot lane.
I felt that it was a really poor idea there for Porsche Cup to go aggressive onto Snoy before Vi was there.
Oh, Zera's going in for the massive stun. Exhaust dropping onto TG as well. Exo coming from the side, trying to get harassing onto Zera's. Are they going to let TG run away from this? Yes, they do. Wow. And with that, Exo's presence and his DPS is actually giving them a lot of things to play. Things coming in with the party! And it looks like Zera's gold got really low. The fear comes down onto him. Missing the W, and Exo picks up that kill.
Once again, Zera's just has not been able to land the W's on Annie just yet.
Oh wow, actually a really lucky mystic shot there. Sue dropping extremely low as well. From the side, Firefox coming in. Mineski picks up a kill onto Nasus in that top lane. Firefox dropping out. The desperate power, will it be enough? No, the 90 caliber that comes in. TG, come on, playing dangerous waters here. And of course, burning Firefox's flash in the process.
Firefox, again,
questionable flashes.
Questionable flashes coming out from Infinity once again.
Oh, with that being said, it looks like Mineski is kind of outclassing them at the moment. And Infinity needs a lot to do to just get back into this game.
The gold advantage speaks for itself right now. We already see about 7,000 gold in favor of Mineski. Only 17 minutes into the game, they're going to pick up this mid lane tower with no comeback from Infinity.
Yeah, Infinity's not doing a good job with the rotations, but on the other hand, I think Mineski's doing a brilliant job with them, conversely. So this is actually looking really nice for the guys, but they need to close out. They need to push and pressurize, especially the Caitlyn going with that Bloodbuster. It means you gotta go now rather than later.
They sure do, and Mineski still do have that really good early game team composition. Infinity still do have the chance to scale into this late game, but Mineski have done a great job of abusing the fact that they have such a great early game team composition to create this gold advantage that they currently hold.
Yeah, a pre-20 minute 10k goal lead is actually a really great position to be in. And with Exo and Noel actually getting a lot of that farm going in. Look at that, 3 kills for Caitlyn, 3 kills for Fizz, 3 kills for Lee Sin. Now that is a very good goal distribution you want to be at. All your eggs are not in one basket. Both your AP and AD carries are getting some sick amounts of gold.
Snoy here on Renekton has picked up that Tiamat, so he will have pretty much 3 auto attacks within a second. 3 auto attacks reset straight away with his W ability as well. So Snoy gonna be able to put out some good DPS at this top lane. Hopefully though, they will be able to continue this lead that Mineski have, because if not, that Tiamat item might cost them out later on in the game.
Right, because the Tiamat does not give any kind of defensive stats, and they need him to be that front line. They don't have a Rise to kind of hold them in. And in fact, he will be the only frontliner when Lee Sin starts to scale off a bit more instead of tanking them. And Noel, they're picking up the blue buff.
They just give that to Noel?
Yeah. In a way, I think they gave it to Noel. Because, you know, Lee Sin needs monies. That's how it works.
Yeah, Lee Sin does need those monies.
He was blind. He was blind.
He's blind. So he didn't know.
He didn't know.
He's asking his friends now if he has blue buff or not.
You guys want to give me blue buff? I'll just try. I try.
I'll help you guys out. Oh, sorry.
And I think that Exo has absolutely no mana just now. So I think it would have been better on Caitlyn. Just saying. Hashtag just saying.
So right now we're going to see Mineski just still putting on some good pressure into Infinity. We see that Infinity have started to cluster up, just try to shove out the waves. They have no control whatsoever over their jungle right now, and their warding is consistently being dewarded by TG, who has picked up that Oracle.
Right, ironically, Infinity is the one playing blind. And what Mineski can easily do is just say, alright, we're going to go swing up top, get that second tier turret easy, and then that's when the sieging for Baron or the Baron dance can start to begin.
You see, they were able to pick
the fish comes in, they hit onto Insta, not the best stops a mid-vault breaker. One of those sad moments of these double silence coming in. They get on to TG with the assault battery, not the best choice. Inside dropping very low, but exhaust drops to the Yume as well. Well touch picking up the MSKI strike, TG dropping real low, but they're targeting out support. Now Zara's as well dropping very, very low, and Push Cup getting a double kill. Wow.
So that is the fight that Infinity needed. They still lost Insta in that fight, but a 2-for-1 trade is really good for Infinity, especially since they are behind right now. And they picked the right fight. They saw that Mineski only had 3 members there at that red buff, trying to take it away from Infinity. And Infinity had 3 members and 1 more coming really close by, but they will lose a tower for that fight.
Right, and Exo here still has a bunch of DPS coming. Firefox getting stunned out. Chloe doing a very good job in the front line. Chloe dropping extremely low. The flash comes in. Su tries to go in for the lockdown. Will the Resonating Strike? Yo, wait, he finishes off with the Dragon Rage and a double Q combo. Exo here just playing real like cat and mouse game there with Nasus.
I really like that Lee Sin play coming from Noah.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was very
Super
nice.
Clutch. Very
fancy.
Yes, very good. It was very clutch. He knew how much he had to do, and he just went in man mode.
I think Ezreal's body is now buried in the trees. He died midair.
He died midair.
Oh, there he is, buried in the trees.
There we go. One with nature.
So, after picking up a great fight, Infinity were able to pick up 2 kills earlier for 1, but now they might be behind again.
Oh, and here Snoy going hard and then going home. I don't know. Exo actually going way too deep. And the 2-shot barrage. Oh my goodness, hitting extremely low. Insta going to try another flash by Fox. And Insta trying to get that point of damage in, waiting for some mana. Exo has actually no mana, but the red buff should be enough. Oh no, not enough. Will that red buff tick off on Insta? Nope, it is going to be okay. Snoy coming in from the side and just dropping the Tiamat.
Dropping the Tiamat.
That was boss.
So Firefox again, that's maybe his
third flash.
The third questionable facts, and we've seen Zaras with a few this game as well.
Yeah.
Why questionable coming in from Team Infinity?
Hashtag mechanics need to be improved.
Mechanics.
Mechanics need to be improved. And Noel pick up another free kill on that dragon. This is 3 dragons to none for Mineski. So they're up by that big goal margin of 12,000. 12,000 goal at the 22-minute mark. Remarkable stuff. I think they have this in the bag so long as they keep that pressure up in the lanes. They don't necessarily... They could take that Baron buff for some extra security as a blanket. But I think they could easily just... Oh, getting hit by that trap! And then, you know, Su.
Hashtag mechanics.
Bye-bye. Oh, no! Getting that flash across the wall.
Those are mechanics.
Those are the real mechanics. And Yume dropping that kill.
Infinity showing us up.
Yeah, and then Mineski that I think Yume was a bit overconfident of his damage. And he didn't throw in that Q. He didn't throw in... Oh no, he didn't use the Urchin Strike.
Cupcakes were too tasty for Ezreal there though.
But you know...
It was worth it. He got a cupcake and managed to escape.
He got cupcake plus some protein from the fish.
Yes, the fish. Very tasty.
Very tasty.
Hopefully it was cooked though, raw fish. Unless it was sashimi.
Sashimi,
sushi,
yeah.
You know.
Zara's just staying at the side. Will he do another flash play? No, his flash is down at the moment, so no big worries
Please,
there.
I hope they stay down.
The rest of it trying to make some plays around the Baron pit, figuring get the wards out. That kind of signals, yeah, they want to do this one for extra comfort, like a security blanket. But Yume still making a slow way to the base, from the base. I mean, yeah.
Nasus here still being the annoying split pusher right now. He's picked up an Iceborne Gauntlet, so he is not... It's not the tankiest item that Nasus can pick up. Gives him some good damage and good stats, but it's not the tankiest item that Nasus
Insta gets hit by the fear in that mid lane. Drops down to about 3/4 of the health left. That's a good start to be in. You want to whittle on that tank as much as possible. The Pulse Cup comes back. Recall now the defense of the base begins.
We see the cupcake traps being put down by Caitlyn here.
Oh, 3 pokes there.
Porsche Cup decides to eat one for himself. Being quite selfish there, I think.
Tasty. Who let the dogs out? Doggy treats, man. TG coming from the side, spots out that wall, has to clear with that Oracle. I think the Oracle still is gonna last just a while longer for him. In fact, it's a fresh one for him. And now he's going in for the siege.
This fight I feel will be crucial for Infinity, but not so much for Mineski. If Infinity can win this fight, they have a chance of coming back into this game. But if Mineski do lose this fight, they're still pushed up into the base of Infinity and still have a sizable gold advantage, and they could still potentially win the next few fights. But if Infinity loses this fight, I think that's game over.
Yeah, if Infinity loses this fight, then you kind of know that they have a big opening for Baron and then just a game sealer. But Infinity still has that chance of recovery, which I actually enjoy. Because if that goal can be channeled into one of the big characters like Ezreal or even Ryze, I mean Ryze is still great in that late game, then we could see a very, very strong comeback.
Zhonya's Hourglass has been picked up by Yume here, so he's going to have that extra few seconds of invulnerability when he does go in with his Fizz there. We see that Ezreal has picked up the last Whisper early on, so since his team is behind, that last Whisper is going to give him a decent amount of damage to work with against the tanks of Mineski.
Yeah, the dive potential with that extra Zhonya's Hourglass is actually really, really helpful. Exo getting a free few hits onto that turret. That's a good play. They need to do that, siege it down as much as they possibly can, and from there, you know, it's going to be an easy inhibitor.
I feel like Infinity have to go now. They have to
go. Yeah, they have to go.
They have to make a fight now. And that's what they do.
Insta dropping the assault battery onto Exo. Exo, he went forward for some strange reason, and then that was the death of him. Not enough DPS coming in the field from TG, but Porsche will have none of that with that pop ghost. He's gonna drop Icebound Gauntlets. Once you get that first hit,
come here, Fiddle. Bam!
Will he get the flash off? No, he uses the fear. Tries to bait out the flash. No, he uses it.
Die,
but the ignite, not gonna be enough. Snoy dropping extremely low as well. The Baron was slightly agitated. I think.
Baron said, "Why are you guys fighting around me? I just want to be your friend."
And that was actually a good fight for Infinity.
That's exactly what Infinity needed to do. I was gonna say right before the fight took place is that while Renekton is top, with this huge initiate team composition that Infinity have, with Ryze having the snare and his Tibbers, the lockdown coming in from Insta, especially with the flash ball breaker that we saw Insta pull off there, they have to fight while Snoy is pushing top lane and kill somebody before Snoy gets there. If they can do that, it's essentially a 4-on-5 for the remainder of the fight. And despite the gold advantage, having a carry or two down early on into team fights is just something you can't work with, regardless how much gold your team has.
That's right, hashtag positioning for that one, because Caitlyn was in all the wrong places, insta-bursted before anyone could react.
They took advantage of the fact that Exo on Caitlyn was being almost cocky, so to speak, to get some damage down onto that mid lane tower to siege it up, as you said, as much as he possibly can. And by doing that, he opened up he wasn't in the right position to prevent that engage coming in from Infinity. But now they're in a bit of a dilemma because Mineski had time to go back to base and grab their items, and now they've come back in full force to siege his tower once again.
Right, and it's not like the turret's really high in health, it's about 1/3 left. Now Exo can continue to be that irritating long-range Caitlyn and just slowly siege that turret down, while TG at the side waits for the opportune moment to have that party once again.
We're gonna see if TG invites his friends to the party this time, and this is where I feel that Insta really need to pick a fight once again while Mineski are really split up. We're gonna see Naxxus go up to the top lane. He does have a Negatron cloak, so he should be able to tank out some damage coming in from Fizz here. And Naxxus is starting to scale. I didn't think this would happen, but now Naxxus is starting to scale for Team Infinity. He might be able to pull it off.
Right, so he has 195 stacks. Not the best amount of stacks to have as a Naxxus at this point in time in the game.
Still stacks.
But still stats. I mean, still stacks and still damage, considering the fact that he had a bad game, but 4-3-0 actually helped out a lot.
Naxxus still provides a ton of damage with his ultimate.
Coming from the side, dropping the Vault Breaker, we try to fly across the wall. No. This is out. The gauntlet.
So, Naxxus still has a ton of damage coming from his ultimate, and the best thing about him is that he can lock down an 80 carry, and with Caitlyn being one of the few immobile champions on Team Mineski right now, he could pretty much charge head-on into Caitlyn, separate Exo from the rest of his team, and just try and take out one of the main damage dealers of Mineski.
That's exactly what they do now, because if they don't, there's actually no chance of recovery whatsoever.
There sure is, and so we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what Infinity do now. They are still behind by quite a lot, 13,000 gold behind Mineski, but it did show that they are capable of winning team fights, especially when they have the superior positioning.
That's true. I mean, what Infinity needs right now is actually just to catch someone out. I didn't really think it's possible. I mean, I knew it's a catch comp. I know well here going for the big engage, but will it cost him his life? They get a 10 dash. Wow, the world's actually pretty tanky. Snoy choosing not to go in as of yet. The fish drops down. I wonder why Snoy didn't follow up. Maybe they thought, not the best time to re-engage. Noel gets caught on the safeguard. TG coming from the side. Assault Badge dropped and Insta dropping extremely low. Not enough damage. Yume, C-Stone Trident. No one runs with C-Stone Trident. Pushdown coming from the side. They get the Exo. Sue as well the damage. They miss a ton of that. The flash comes in. They get a stun onto Sue and Snoy sweeping that one up. Exo making clean work. Onto Bosch wasting the ace in the hole. But in ace comes in and that's all that matters.
That was such a great chance for Infinity there, but they just didn't seize the opportunity. They did not burst down Noelle in time, and Insta saved his ultimate so long into that team fight, and just got bursted down when he used it, because he used it right as Mineski grouped up as 5.
Right, that's the kind of play you would do if you were even on goal, but in that kind of dire situation where you just need to pick off and disengage, they could have done it way earlier with Noelle. They could have used the assault battery onto Noelle.
They needed to do what they did when Mineski were sieging that mid lane turret. They needed to just kill one person, back up, do it again.
Yeah, they needed to rinse and repeat. I totally agree. But I think they estimated themselves as having reached that point where, okay guys, we can go for that 5-on-5 team fight, but they were in no way ready. So Exo had free reign the entire part of that map.
And you saw that they were only able to pick up one player from Mineski, and that would be TG, but killing TG this late in the game doesn't do too much for your team.
Yeah, you just get that bonus goal. And here, Infinity actually doing a really risky play by going to the Baron. The Baron, I mean, it's the last stand, might as well.
So, Mineski did have to go back to base and grab items, so Infinity do have a few second advantage.
They could do this. I mean, Yume and Exo are not here. They are not here to kind of contest, and the Baron will go to Infinity. This is a great moment for them. Insta getting in the long range. The fish misses, so Snoy charging to the backline. Firefox on very low. A good flash from him finally, but Bushcraft line just left side to die in the lurches. Zara's going and gets hit by the ace in the hole. Might this be the game-changing moment? Snoy running in, no mercy. Dropped it, no damage. But Zaris get killed in the process. Noelle diving straight in. Sue as well, trying to siege from the side. A shutdown coming in from Sue, getting that missing shot onto Yume.
He might get feared here. He does get feared. Exo should be able to pick up the skill. Might be able to pick up Insta as well. The surprise party comes out. PG. He might. No, he does not get taken on Mariza, but Mineski should be able to close out this game now.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, Tyrant's gone really low. No one's left to stop him. Exo still getting free reign from the side. Noelle going in. They log on to Firefox. That's the last source of DPS. If he dies, that is it. And of course, it's having to burn that flash to go right to the turret. Easy game, and now Mineski will finish it off. No! Looks like another stand coming from Porsche.
Not enough.
Not enough.
So that would be the classic debate there. Is it worth it to trade an inhibitor for Baron? As I've always said, I always thought inhibitor is much more important than Baron, and it just shows right there that Mineski proved that. And you have a Teemo skin.
Wow. Okay. I don't know how that worked, and somehow, sorry, the client kind of bugged out.
So somehow you gained a division there, and you got a skin after watching a game.
I had a